Good morning, everybody. Ocula's decision intelligence platform helps clients like the Kansas City Chiefs optimize their commercial operations in core areas such as pricing. Now, we're not going to stand up here today and say we're solely responsible for the KC Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, but I think it's fair to say a combination of our intelligence platform and Mahomes is a bit of a winning combination. So if we skip on, who are we? So my background is working in product, so helping take client problem statements, turn that into, well, what's the solution and the requirements that are going to overcome that? Always worked in the field of data analytics across Dunnhumby, Deloitte, Bain, and joined by my co-founder as well, Greg.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Fletcher, so I'm responsible for taking those product requirements and building out all the advanced algorithms to solve for those pain points, and crucially building all the infrastructure around them to make sure they're fully productionized and fully scalable.
Now, where are we based? We're very proud to be headquartered out of Belfast, and we've also got an office in London. We've got a team of 18 world-class scientists, engineers, and product people, diverse range of backgrounds, a couple of ex-Formula One simulation engineers, etc., really tackling the most complex problems out there. And look, we're 18 months old. We've got an incredible client roster already. We're going to go into a lot more depth as to what we're doing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Our target market is major sports franchises, D2C brands and retailers. So you can already see on there people like Boots, the UK's largest health and beauty retailer, and also Coty, one of the world's largest beauty companies. All of them getting the same type of insights and value from our decision intelligence platform that we've created. So why did we do this? Why did we leave successful careers at Bain and Deloitte to act? It was through those careers and that type of exposure to companies we could see the vast majority are losing this AI race. When you spend time designing and building solutions for the likes of Alibaba, you realize the insights their commercial teams have at their fingertips, and then you fast forward and you go to other companies who don't have that, you realize the gulf in insights available to them. So we decided to act. So 18 months ago, we started building the platform again for those target markets. 2 billion addressable by 2027 in sports, 4 billion in D2C brands in spend in this space, and 8 billion within the retail market. So that's the market that we're going after and looking to provide those insights for. How do we do it? So we're leveling the playing field. We talked about our intelligence platform, but there's a manifesto we've had from day one when we started the company. Actionable AI today. It's what informs our entire product roadmap and backlog, and you'll hopefully see it come through in the product. Actionability, we sell this to non-technical commercial users who haven't got a technical background, who just want clear, prioritized, plain English insights. Tell me what I should be doing, and then let me make a decision on whether I act on that. The AI part, yes, this is powered by advanced analytics. To us, though, you'll see some of the modules we've built. This is about knocking down silos through the power of AI, so allowing pricing decisions to be informed by customer and fan intelligence, etc., that we'll come on to. So it's really about actually opening up that AI loop across different commercial decisions. And the final word in the manifesto was today. So this is about moving quickly, so getting set up effortlessly for companies. So we've done this through a number of ways that we can come to later in the presentation, but really the barriers to entry for an IT team, we can be set up in 2 to 3 days with one of our modules to start delivering that ROI from our SaaS license fee. So we've got 3 live modules with clients. Price optimization, we're going to go into a lot more detail on, and what we've done with the Kansas City Chiefs in that intelligence space. E-commerce optimization is about how do we make sure that visitors who land on sports websites, brand websites, convert that into customers, and then fan understanding and intelligence, headroom for growth, affinities to products. The thing here, though, our moat is actually the symbiotic nature of this. So you can make a great pricing optimization just on transactional and pricing data. You can make a better decision if you understand fans' headroom for growth, and then you can connect your ticket pricing that you've come up with to the fans that it's most relevant for. So actually, by being plugged into this intelligence platform, we're closing the loop symbiotically on what the power of AI can do for commercial sides of a business.
Great, thanks, Tom. So let me tell you a little bit more about our price optimization module and how the Chiefs have been using it throughout last season. So at Ocula, we like to solve for big, complex, and urgent problems, which is exactly what the pricing teams at sports clubs are facing. So there's commercial pressure from the business to make more money, while it's absolutely imperative that fair prices are set so the fan experience is as good as possible when purchasing. It's an incredibly complex space with all the different factors that are influencing what the ticket prices should be, and it's compounded by the dynamics of the reseller market. Finally, it's an incredibly time-sensitive decision-making process. So you have a finite window of opportunity between schedule release and game day, and a finite amount of inventory from which to generate your revenue. So our solution is dynamic ticket pricing. So as the demand is constantly evolving for tickets, the perfect price is always moving. So we provide optimized ticket price recommendations while making sure that the fan experience is also very clearly considered there. We employ lots of different data sources to this end. So the aim here is to really get that finely grained understanding of what the fan buying behavior should be. So we look at data sources including ticket prices, ticket sales, such as web traffic data, player performance, team performance, league dynamics, player injury. Even the weather forecast for game day is considered here when considering what the demand should be. And then finally, no matter how smart the underlying algorithms are, our users need to really believe in the price recommendations. So for example, Justin at the Chiefs, when he logs into Ocula on a Monday morning, he wants to see the price recommendations, but also understand what the projected revenue impact would be. So the fun part, how does it work? We take in all those different data sources, then what do we do with them? Well, we apply a lot of advanced machine learning algorithms to do a number of things, including understand fan elasticity to different price changes, and also to forecast the demand for different games and different price codes on a constantly ongoing basis. Once we understand that, we employ our proprietary optimization solution. Now, just to give you a bit of a sense of the challenge we face here, or the scale of the challenge. The Arrowhead Stadium has 29 different price codes, and tickets for those price codes can range in the hundreds of dollars. And price changes can be made in increments of $5. So when you consider all of the different price configurations, the combinatorics here are astronomical. And I really mean that, because the number of different possible solutions is greater than the number of stars in the universe, in fact, far greater than that. So our solution needs to navigate that space in order to constantly be providing the users with a fair and optimal prices for fans. Finally, it's served up through a dashboard which is clear and intuitive for the users. So as Tom said before, our manifesto is actionable AI today. So actionability through a clear dashboard driven by AI, set up very quickly through our integrations, which are automated data feeds. So you might say, Greg, that's all well and good. Theoretically, how well does it actually work in practice? Well, the Chiefs have been using Ocula every single day to set single game ticket prices from schedule release last year until the end of the season. And through multiple controlled experiments, we've measured that they've actually achieved a 14% revenue uplift compared to if they'd not used Ocula. They've also used Ocula to set season ticket prices and to identify season ticket holders on an individual basis who are at risk of not renewing, so they can target those individuals with personalized communications in order to up that renewal rate.
Brilliant. So where are we going next? Fast forward 5 years, we'll have a 100 million annual recurring revenue business, and we're building off a great base. We're at around about just over 700K of ARR today from an 18-month standing start, and we've just taken on board on Friday, so yesterday, we've just closed the latest seed extension £2 million investment round with a major strategic investor. We're announcing it to the market on Monday, so you hope you'll be seeing that if you follow us on LinkedIn. And how are we going to achieve this? So we're going to double our ARR this year, and we've got 2 channels that we're looking at. So we've got the direct. So we've just hired our Chief Revenue Officer. We've got a fabulous in-house sales team. We're basically considering this. We want to be able to pay for our own lunch. We want to build a business that's sustainable, that we can bring in revenue and contact and direct to actually grow that revenue organically. At the same time, we recognize the value of partners in this space for scale, particularly as we look ahead 2 to 3 years. So we've got 4 really key partners we're working with. Great example of this is Snowflake. We've been in Snowflake's startup program from day one. We chose them technically and commercially because they were targeting the same verticals that we were going after. It's thanks to Snowflake that we're in at Everton in the Premier League. So again, these are the ones who can really pay out if you take a long enough time horizon, but at the same time, you can't rely on partners as a startup because priorities for them can change. So you also need an in-house sales function that can actually also bring in those leads on there. In terms of NPS, this is a key thing for us. So product market fit, those signs, great, financial, some of it, but actually the NPS. If you looked at, and please go on the website if you get a chance and read, you can watch Tyler's review of this, calling it out as the best software provider he's ever worked with and the most intelligent solution. We've got that consistently from our other clients. We're not going to rest on our laurels. We've got 12 clients. We've still got a way to go, but we want to maintain that type of NPS for everyone that we work with throughout. So with that, we'll close. Would love questions, but we're very much looking to unlock the next wave of AI optimization for the things. So if anything's of interest, we'd love to pick it up separately. We have a stand, as everyone here does, as you know, outside, and we'd love to see any of you out there. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
So, looking at your success with the Kansas City Chiefs this year, obviously they're a very successful team year over year. Projecting into smaller markets, projecting into maybe less successful teams, how do you guys see potential shifts to your product and how they're going to handle those factors that may be a little bit less positive on the back end?
Brilliant. Should we take this in two parts? So if you take how we're working with clubs who've got the lower attendance, and I'll talk to them how other teams can use it for almost scenario planning.
Absolutely. So this is about optimizing for the demand that you have. So the Chiefs are extremely popular. We work with clubs who are less popular, but it's still about understanding that fan buying behavior and optimizing the price for them. In terms of the maturity of the data feeds and the data sources, again, a lot of this is driven by third-party data sources, so we don't require that full kind of mature capability from their IT team.
Yeah, and if we look at other leagues, Premier League's fascinating. One of the reasons so much American money and other money is flowing into Premier League is a relatively immature commercial model when it comes to areas like ticket pricing. So actually what we're doing with the people we're working with there, it's not about dynamic ticket pricing, it's not about 2 to 3 price changes before a game, but it is about scenario planning. Because you can run this, and if you're the owner of Everton, wouldn't it be great to know what's my potential profit pool from tickets in the new stadium if we were to adopt a slightly more aggressive ticketing strategy? And what would that look like if we were to make 2 changes, 3 changes, 4 changes in terms of addressable revenue we could be bringing in? So I think for smaller clubs or less mature markets, it might have a slightly different offline use case to start with, to start to build the business case, and then can start to implement it when they've reached that dynamic pricing maturity.
I have 2 questions for you guys.
Yes.
One is, obviously industries like airlines have been using dynamic pricing for a long time. I know even Broadway theaters have done that. I don't know if it exists in concerts, but are there other areas that you guys are thinking about? That's number 1. And then number 2, I'd love to learn more about on the e-commerce, fan engagement, your plans for those 2.
Yeah, fantastic. So on the festival and music, we're just going into that this year. So with our partnership with the Falcons, they run AT Live, which takes about $10 to $12 million over the course of 2 days. A big challenge for them with the Mercedes Stadium is actually, that's not necessarily their natural field of expertise in terms of how do you price successfully that. So kicking off that work to say, how do we apply the same logic here to make sure that we're maximizing revenue, getting the right ticket prices for something outside of the natural field of sports, but something still using their stadiums. So that will be the first one this year. So I think that'll be a big learning curve for us to see that opens up a whole new addressable market if that's there. So hopefully the green shoots this year. On the e-commerce side, so this is something, again, more prevalent actually at the moment. We've started in the UK with sports teams there and D2C brands. So what we've built is the module scans an entire front end and back end of an e-commerce site, and it does a number of things. It's looking for weaknesses versus competitors. So it analyzes every element. So it analyzes every image, every keyword, every review, and it's looking for where's the delta where you could be improved. So for example, there might be keywords you're missing that are starting to trend that you need to be putting on certain key pages to help with search findability. So all of those things to making sure people find that right jersey, the right time with the direct shop so you enjoy more of that margin is a really key part of that e-commerce offering. Great.
Unfortunately, we are at time. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.